But what is the upside? Hey, Chris Zuiker with Media Options, help companies acquire the raw version of the brand. Work on some of the best domains on the planet. Check that out over at MediaOptions.com. Check out ChrisZuiker.com. It's interesting. I was thinking about an email response I got back from a very big company, and it was one of their sub brands. Okay, so it wasn't like the main brand of the company, but they're kind of divvied up into different divisions, and this is one of their sub brands. It represented a product that they had, and right now, they dominate the keyword for this product. And as I'm getting the domain in front of them, good dialogue kind of went back and forth, and they said, well, hey, Chris, we're in the 5 figures, we're not in the 6 figures. And I said, well, how are you looking at that? What are you using? How are you evaluating your brand? And it was interesting because it made me, this is one of the issues I think that most companies have. Now, yesterday's video, I talked about workforce and workforce software. And just this massive punch in the face that workforce software got, because workforce.com is now a brand that's a direct competitor. Okay, it's a direct competitor on a generic keyword domain. Okay, it's workforce. And so many companies, they're thinking only, well, hey, what's the upside? We own this. They're only thinking in the box that they're in today. They're not thinking of the box as far as strategy, as far as what could change in the marketplace, what could change when if another company does come and acquires the raw version of their brand and this global positioning. I talk about global positioning a lot because global positioning is your ability to control the positioning for your keyword. Okay, so if you look at carrot.com versus carrot.co, well, who owns the global positioning? Well, carrot.com does, because every time carrot.co markets, listen, they have to be if they're smart, okay, if they're smart, and I haven't really seen their marketing much, but there's get-carrot.com, there's carrot.co, there's maybe 5 other carrot brands that are at least in Crunchbase, and there's hundreds and hundreds that are on LinkedIn. But every time they market, guess what? They have to be overly sensitive, saying, hey, don't go to carrot.com or carrot.co, okay? Massive risk to the brand. And so what I see is that a lot of these companies, they're only looking at the upside, saying, well, hey, we own it, right? They're looking at their box today. They're looking at their strategy today. We own it, Chris. How is this going to help us more? Because you go to search, we own this keyword, okay, this keyword domain. And it's you're thinking too small. You're not thinking strategically. This is literally the biggest risk your brand has to scaling and growing. It's just a domain name, right? It's just a domain name. Come on, really? Marketing, customers. I said, listen, your domain equals your brand equity. It's much more. It's foundational to a company. It's interesting. That's just why I love this industry. I truly do. I just love it because it's branding, it's strategy, it's marketing, it's SEO, it's email security, right? It's this encapsulation of what, that's a word, okay, encapsulates brand equity. Brand equity is customer loyalty. It's your ability to form long-term customers, the ability for you to own your brand, okay, global positioning, industry positioning. And yet, all they're thinking about is their box today. Well, I don't see it. And I'm it's one of the reasons why companies hire us is because we have to break that worldview to say, listen, what you think of domain names is just fundamentally wrong. You may have a share position today, you may have share mine today, but this is the biggest risk, and it's only a matter of time. When we get our hands on a domain name, it will sell, okay? It'll sell. Great domain names don't stay on the sidelines for long, especially when you look at the 3 major trends in the domain industry, okay? One being that there's just more and more companies that are only online, and because they're only online, they need to acquire and they need to own their brand. And so if you don't, they're gonna sell. It's gonna sell. An asset of the calibers that we broker, they just don't stay on the sidelines from it. They become workable assets. And once they do, the paradigm, you get just hit in the face, right? Hit in the nose, bloody nose. And your business will never be the same. It will never be the same because these companies will never sell the asset. They'll never sell a domain for 10, 100 times what you could have acquired for when it was available. And why is that? Because it's tied up into brand equity. So think about the risk. Don't just think about the reward. Think about what could be the impact to your brand. Okay. A lot more to share. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to try to keep it on 5 minutes here. If you found value in this, share it up. You just got done listening to another episode of .com Strategies. Check us out online at chriszuiker.com.
and at mediaoptions.com.